What is up, guys? It is your boy LAXrider doing a voiceover for this video because didn't like the way I was talking and sounded a bit gibberish, and there's too many breaks in between my conversations. So rather than me trying to do a whole bunch of jump cuts and potentially missing out on the important features on the bike, I'd rather just do a voiceover and make it clean for you guys to understand. So unfortunately, there won't be any exhaust notes from the bike. You can see I'm fiddling with the glove strap on my gloves. Probably need to get new gloves eventually, but so I'll do my best and try to keep the video short, and that way you guys will be well informed, as well as piquing your interest into maybe purchasing this motorcycle. It's in a Yamaha blue, very common among Yamahas. Well, that's a very widespread color anyway in their lineup. Right away, I noticed that it's not as smooth as the Suzuki, and to be honest with you, I think that's a good thing, because too many Japanese bikes are very smooth and refined, and that can take away some of the overall character and feel of the bike. So this kind of gives you that that rumble, throaty, very rugged exhaust that that you get from a parallel twin. It kind of, in a way, sounds like a V-twin in a way. So that kind of gives it like that distinct exhaust note because of the 270-degree cross plane crankshaft. Sorry. That's commonly found in the current generation R1, and they kind of sound similar like that. They both had that low RPM like grunt that is very distinct in those engines. You saw me earlier twisting the throttle there. It has a very like long dead zone before you get any like sort of input from the throttle. My guess is that is to prevent sudden throttle input, especially for newer riders. It makes it easier to modulate the throttle, smoother application to the throttle. That way the bike won't be jerky or anything like that. So that's my guess. This does not have the clutch assist like the Suzuki does, so you will have to modulate like any other motorcycle. The Suzuki, that's a nice feature to have. Very easy to get off the line. It holds the RPM up to where it makes it easier to modulate the clutch, so it reduces your chances of stalling. But that's a bit of a double-edged sword. It kind of prevents you from learning how to get used to modulating the clutch naturally like you would on any other motorcycle. So I don't know, that's a bit of an up and down feature for that bike. It's nice, but I don't know, I would prefer if it had like an option for you to turn it off or anything like that. So good for newer riders in the beginning, but definitely as you start to get that experience, you want to learn how to modulate the clutch on your own. Just riding through the tunnel here, nothing much. I like the display. It's very wide, very easy to read. You don't have to tilt your head down. You can simply just glance at it for a quick second to see where you're at, check your miles per hour or your speed, what RPM you're at, the gear you're at, if your fuel level, and that's pretty much it. Really, that's really all you need to know at that quick glance. You don't have to tilt your head down for a second, and you can just quick glance, then look right, and then back on the road again. So that's a nice little thing. The bike gets a little over, like, I believe 60 miles to the gallon. I could be wrong. I think it gets a little bit more than that. So it's definitely economical. I was looking over this car over to the left here. This black camera is driving kind of weird, driving close to that other car in front. Then that car in front kind of cuts us off a little bit, trying to rev bomb there. And then this black car here kind of cuts off again. So I don't know what's going on there. Lady was blasting her music, bobbing her head, not really paying attention, kind of hopped the curb a little bit. I don't know, just typical LA drivers, not paying attention. But it's still overall comfortable. Like I said, the seat is not as plush as the Suzuki, but you're not as hunched over, so the bar sits up higher. And it has very, very good power delivery. Most of the power is at the low to mid RPM range. I guess in case you guys are wondering, he's riding the Kawasaki ZX6R. That was up for demo, but I wasn't really particularly interested in the sport bike. They're nice. They're good looking bikes and are very performance oriented, but it's not really what I'm looking for right at the moment. So this bike really is a good, solid way to get into motorcycling. I say it's new rider friendly. I think I mentioned this before. It makes around 70 horsepower, 50 pound-feet of torque, maybe a little bit more than that. Because it feels a lot more than that because of how light the bike is. So it's definitely something to keep, into consideration. But it's still easier to modulate. It's still easier to control than say like an MT09, where that has 120 horsepower. Or maybe 130. I think it's somewhere around that ballpark. And it has a lot more torque too. But this bike really implies that whole it's better to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow sort of mentality. Because, like I said, it doesn't have a whole lot of power. So you can enjoy the riding aspect of this bike and just have a good time with it rather than, thinking about other things and trying to worry about, being careful with the throttle and this and that. So it makes you more confident in riding because you concentrate more on the riding aspect rather than these other things. So it doesn't have any rider modes, doesn't have any traction control or ABS. So it's very minimalist, if you will. That's what I like about naked bikes. You get to see the internals of the bike. To me, that's more aesthetically pleasing than a fairing bike, in my opinion. Not saying there aren't any pretty fairing bikes out there, like the R1M is a good looking bike, the Ducati V4, the Panigales, all these other sport bikes. They really look nice. Not saying they don't look appealing, but I don't know. I just like seeing the internals of a motorcycle. It's very just aesthetically pleasing to me. But I'll try to keep this video a little bit short. That way I guys won't bore you to death with it, with the whole voiceover. It's typical 6-speed transmission. Very close ratio. It's nice. It has a nice power delivery, even though, like I said, it's kind of built on the grunty side. Again, it's still more at that low RPM, low to mid range power band. It makes a nice, decent amount of power for something that only has 690 cc's. They just ran out to 700, and they call it MT07 for obvious reasons. So it's very nice. The bike is little over $8,000, but this one was on sale. So just thanking the driver there for backing up, getting us room to squeeze on through. It handles very, very well. Brakes are good. I believe you can get this in ABS. I'm not entirely sure. I know the XSR 700 comes with ABS. Does not come with traction control like the MT07 and XXR 900 does. but it's still an overall well packaged, very high quality motorcycle. The paint is really good. The finish is really good. That's what I like about Yamaha. They have a really good finish on their motorcycles, and they manage to keep their price point very affordable to most riders, especially newer riders getting into motorcycling. And, you know, they just want to get their foot in the door, and they don't have to spend a whole lot of money to do it. So I really appreciate Yamaha doing that. Let's see what else. That's pretty much it. Like I said, the suspension, going a little bit further back there, the suspension is adjustable. It's preload adjustable, both front and rear. Like I said, you're not going to notice a difference between the inverted fork and the telescopic fork on this bike on a daily commute. So it's really just a more budget friendly, sporty, but still easier to control commuter bike. It's very nicely done. That's pretty much all I have to say about it, really. I say if you guys get a chance, go test ride one. They're very popular bikes. You see a lot of motovloggers have them, and my neighbor has one, and they sound really good when you put a nice exhaust to them. It gives it even more deeper, throatier tone. It kind of has that sort of like that Ducati sound to them, with that uneven firing order and that rumble exhaust note. So it really sounds good. You know, for a small displacement motorcycle, it really does surprise you on how well it rides. So definitely go test ride one. You know, swing by Amo Motorsports. I'll put like a link in the description to where you guys can find them. They're having a bunch of good deals going on right now, especially during the summer, because a lot of the, believe it or not, this is the time where the 2019s are coming in. So they're having good deals on their 2018s. So, you know, definitely give them a call. Stop by the dealership, ask for a test ride, and, you know, just go from there. They'll be able to get you a good deal. So that's pretty much it for this video. You guys ride safe, be safe, be vigilant. I almost stole the bike there. And have a good time, man, because it's all about enjoying the ride. It's all about having fun and learning the new experiences along the way and meeting new people as well. So get out there and ride while the sun's still up. I heard it might start raining maybe like a week from now. I don't know. So just get out and ride and just have fun with this thing, man. And you guys take it easy, ride safe. It's your boy LAXrider signing off. You guys have a good one.